Hello, Lucy Cornell here from the Cornell Voice Advisory. Now, I'm often asked, how can you use your voice to influence people? Well, that's pretty much what we do in the organisation, and we run full programs, 2-day workshops with a lot of people and go in depth into how you use your voice to influence people. But I wanted to see if I could give you a quick point overview on what we talk about in those programs so that you can take them away and apply. So the first thing you do is not just speak. You don't just jump in and give them the information and use your voice. Actually, and it's probably not surprising, the first thing you do is need to think about your audience and not just why you're speaking, but I think this is a really interesting distinction. Why should your audience listen to you? What you're wanting to do before you start speaking and voicing is cleaving open their listening, carving open the space in their white noise, in their agenda, in their thoughts about what they've got next and what they had this morning, to open their hearing. Because if you just speak, then they can't take you in. So the first thing is to think about, in the designing of your message, the first thing you need to say is what's in it for them and why should they listen, and that you hook them in straight away. Talk to the elephant in the room, deal with the problems that they're facing, talk to a pain point that they have, acknowledge where they're at today so that they can come to you and be present with you. So that's the first thing, is carve open their listening. The second thing is to then deal with this exchange with someone not as an opportunity for you to give them the ream of content that you've prepared earlier, or the detail that you want to get in, or the information that you're hoping to get across, but actually to deal with it as a moment-to-moment interaction. If you're dealing with moments, you're more able to navigate the changing agenda that might happen, the changing needs, and you're absolutely able to check in with whether they're translating you. Moment by moment in speaking is literally thought by thought, so that when you drop an idea, a thought into their listening that they've opened up for you, you check with them. Now, you don't have to articulate the checking in, like, are you with me? But you want to think, are you with me? And read the primal signals you're getting, and then navigate and negotiate those signals in order to feed them the next idea. So it's a little bit like sewing them in or knitting them in to your story. The third point, and this is probably the most significant, and it's a deeper psychological point, which is know that you have a right to be there and a right to speak. If you feel that that's compromised, your job is to reconcile that before you walk in. And sometimes, while you're in the moment-to-moment exchange, you suddenly think, I don't have a right to speak anymore, or they're not interested in me, or they don't like the point that I've given to them. So it's in that moment, if you're dealing moment to moment, that you can sit and reconcile with yourself. Wait a minute, I have a right to speak this, and to decide how you're going to forge forward with that, or to deal with the pushback that you're getting, but certainly not to contract and shrink away from your right to be there in this exchange with them, so that you can ultimately voice your ideas to influence an outcome. For a deeper exploration of your voice, make sure you have a look at our Cornell Voice online masterclass, which is 6 hours of video content, pre-recorded and beautifully filmed. And you have access to the whole thing for a year on demand to access as you need in your own learning time. Or send me an email, lucy@cornellvoice.com. Stay in voice and see you next time.